unfair advantage.
We're concerned with anybody who's scraping data off our MLS site and they're doing it illegally.
Overseas buyers get first dibs on Vancouver homes. Taking Compass for a ride.
But you're not going to beat it. There is no secret technological solution.
The simple hack that's costing TransLink. And virtual B&Es.
They're looking at thousands of homes at a time.
The high-tech burglars infiltrating your home.
You're watching Global BC. This is Global News Hour at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. Chris is off tonight. There are new concerns foreign buyers investing in our hot real estate market may be unfairly getting the jump on new listings.
It's getting worse and worse every year.
You'll want to wash your hands after touching this tap water. Why some Kelowna residents are living with a murky mess.
I thought it was unreal.
Talk about an eventful retirement. Meet the Okanagan's newest multi-millionaire grandmother.
We can't complain about the sun and cloud today in the Okanagan Valley. Slight changes ahead. I'll have more details coming up shortly.
You're watching Global Okanagan. This is Global News at 5.
Good evening. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. A Vernon man says he wants the city to delay a road construction project that would impact his business.
You're watching Global Edmonton. This is Global News at 5.
Good afternoon. A 78-year-old man in Red Deer has been convicted of bullying. The man is in the middle of a block battle with neighbors that some say has been going on for years.
Duck, you may be on camera.
I was just appalled. You know, who's watching me?
Why a popular Calgary pub has installed cameras in some of its loos. Power struggle.
It doesn't make sense to me.
A couple's lengthy battle with NMAX over some crossed wires. What just might resolve the issue?
It might seem like a bit of a stretch, but new research suggests a neuromuscular training warm-up program can save the healthcare system millions.
What it involves and how it can do it.
You're watching Global Calgary. This is Global News Hour at 6.
Good evening. Some ruffled feathers at Ducky's, a popular Southwest pub. A Global News viewer telling us he was stunned to find a camera in the bathroom at the karaoke bar.
You're watching Global Lethbridge. This is Global News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for being with us tonight. We begin with big news from the Blood Tribe Police Service as 20-year veteran Inspector Francis Joseph Manyfingers is facing a criminal charge from Lethbridge Police.
Serving a prison sentence for drunk driving causing the death of a young conservation officer, Blaine Tapetat is back in court. We explain why. Legislation on doctor-assisted death is unveiled, what it could mean for chronically ill living in Saskatchewan. And a Syrian family adjusts to life in Saskatoon, welcoming the first Canadian member of their family.
You're watching Global Saskatoon. This is Global News at 6.
Good evening. The sentence for a man who struck and killed a conservation officer will remain the same. The Saskatchewan Court of Appeal has denied Blaine Tapetat his request for a shorter sentence.
It's a good day to be Métis. It's a good day for us.
A historic ruling for Indigenous and Métis people, recognizing 500,000 Canadians as Indians under the Constitution.
I'm Brandon Gonez. A huge announcement here at Regina Police Headquarters signifying the end of an era. I'll have the full details just ahead.
It's a double shot at the same time, and you kind of go like mismanagement, money grab.
Plus, should residents on this street have to pay the road improvement tax and foot the bill for their own street? Global News investigates.
You're watching Global Regina. This is Global News at 6.
Good evening and thank you so much for joining us. It's a historic day for a population that makes up over 500,000 people in Canada.
The leaders square off in the only televised debate of this campaign. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Here's what else you'll see at 6.
A climbing deficit and tens of billions in provincial debt. A close look at what it all means to the average Manitoban. And a local radio host suspended over controversial videos posted online. Winnipeggers protest in response.
You're watching Global Winnipeg. This is Global News at 6.
Thanks for joining us. It's a 4-letter word families want to avoid, but one many Manitobans face in their own households.
The explosion of the Zika virus, a familiar story, more serious than ever.
Everything we look at with this virus seems to be a bit scarier than we initially thought.
Startling numbers and new warnings to those at the most risk. Desperate families with autistic children take their case to Queen's Park.
No children are going to qualify anymore.
Did the province move the health care goalpost just when kids needed help most? Plus, it's not the kind of hit one concert goer had in mind.
The last time they came to Toronto, he did it as well.
An incident on a Toronto stage puts rock and roll roughhousing under the spotlight.
You're watching Global Toronto. This is Global News at 5:30.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Farah Nasser.
I'm Alan Carter. We begin with new warnings tonight about the Zika virus.
You're watching Global Montreal. This is Global News at 5:30.
Hi there, thanks for joining us tonight. Well, we are one step closer to legal doctor-assisted death from coast to coast. The federal government has introduced a controversial new law today. If it is passed in Parliament, it would allow seriously ill Canadians to ask doctors for a deadly injection.
You're watching Global New Brunswick. This is Global News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. The New Brunswick government made some Canadian history today. Premier Brian Gallant unveiled a piece of the Education and New Economy Fund that will essentially allow thousands of young New Brunswickers to attend a provincial post-secondary institution free.
You're watching Global Halifax. This is Global News at 6.
Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. It was the first day of sitting for the spring session of the Nova Scotia Legislature, and already a new report is throwing cold water on the McNeil Liberals' decision to axe the film tax credit.